Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Canadian Car Review Show. Today we have a 2015 Subaru Legacy 2.5i Limited equipped with the optional technology package at Bud Subaru. The Legacy is now in its 6th generation model and continues to provide reliability, safety, and symmetrical all-wheel drive performance that has built its reputation over the years. New for the 2015 is the Legacy's interior improvements that surpass the outgoing model. The front of the vehicle consists of a one-piece nose cone front bumper design that complements the black hexagonal grille, HID projector and halogen headlamps, and multi-reflector halogen fog lights. The front-end design is blended into the front side fenders and provides a character line that flows down the side of the vehicle and into the rear taillights. Standard on the Legacy 2.5 model is the new active grille shutter system that boosts fuel economy by reducing wind resistance when the front grille is closed. The Legacy also features improved aerodynamics courtesy of the standard integrated trunk spoiler, more streamlined side rocker panels, and A-pillars that have been moved forward and raked back. The wheel wells are filled with 18-inch aluminum alloy black and machine finish rims with a high relief design and is equipped with Goodyear's Eagle LS2 tires. Power adjustable foldable and heated door mirrors, body-colored door handles, body-colored rocker panel molding, and a single muffler stainless steel tip exhaust system are all standard features on the Legacy. The Legacy is also equipped with the 3rd generation EyeSight advanced driver assist system with updated color cameras for better recognition. Available is the new rear radar system that represents the brand's next step toward full perimeter preventative safety. The Subaru rear side vehicle detection system, also known as SRVD, offers 3 functions: blind spot detection, lane change assist, and rear cross traffic alert. The Legacy is powered by a 2.5-liter 4-cylinder Subaru Boxer engine that produces 175 horsepower at 5,800 RPM and 174 pound-feet of torque at 4,000 RPM. The engine is mounted to a Lineartronic CVT transmission that has a lock-up torque converter, paddle shifters, and transmission modes for manual or normal mode driving. The transmission has a shift lock system and is equipped with Subaru's full-time all-wheel drive system, electronically controlled through a multi-plate transfer clutch. An optional 3.6-liter dual overhead cam 24-valve 6-cylinder Subaru Boxer engine can be equipped that's rated at 256 horsepower at 6,000 RPM and 247 pound-feet of torque at 4,400 RPM. What's important to note is that the partial zero emissions vehicle standard system cannot be equipped with this drivetrain. It is also included with a different CVT transmission that's based on a high-torque Lineartronic system. The trunk is equipped with gas struts on either end of the lid and has a fairly large trunk space itself. There's a 60/40 pass that can be folded down to increase cargo capacity. Underneath the paneling is a cargo management system that you can pull out that shows where the spare tire is located. Part of the technology package is the keyless entry system on the driver's side. And on the driver's door, you have soft touch materials on the upper and lower door trims, including a beautifully smooth leather wrapped material. You have electronic windows, door locks, side mirrors, and a surround system that's powered by a Harman Kardon. The dash is made from a one-piece design and is made from soft touch materials, and overall the interior finishing has been completely revamped. You have soft touch materials everywhere and improved seating. The iDrive system can be disabled by operating the controls located at the lower left side driver console area. The controls include deactivating the side, rear, and front collision warning system, radar detection system, lane sway departure warning, and frontal collision warning. The front seats are heated, and the passenger gets a 4-way adjustable electronic seat, and the driver gets a 10-way adjustable seat, with an optional memory seat function to help ensure maximum comfort at all times. The front seats boast more lumbar support and have a new tilt adjustable headrest with 5 different angles. The rear seats are also heated and have a center armrest that's wrapped in leather that includes cup holders. The door finishing is the same quality as the front door finishing. The seats also fold down in a 60/40 split, and there are ISOFIX anchors mounted for car seat support. The driver's steering wheel is made from soft touch leather material. It has numerous amounts of control, including paddle shifters for the CVT transmission. So starting on the left hand side is your radio presets, so you can turn up and down the volume You can shuffle through the stations with these left and right arrows. You can mute the sound, and you can also use this as a back arrow. This button here controls the menu settings in your navigation screen, along with a back button. You can change the radio source, and you also have voice recognition tied into the radio and your Bluetooth system. You also have your phone connectivity settings, and on the bottom is your controls for your TFT screen and your gauge cluster. On the right hand side, you have your eyesight assist system, so it increases or decreases your forward collision warning system from eyesight. You can also control your cruise control menu settings by pressing this button, and program the actual speed with the toggle switch above. Now, as for your gauge cluster, you have an analog display that shows your tachometer, coolant temperatures on the left, and on the right hand side your fuel gauge along with your speedometer. You also have your check engine lights. Your lane sway detection warning system can be turned on or off, and it will be displayed in one of these gauges here. Your front collision warning system, low battery, oil pressure, and etc. And in the center, you have your fuel economy, your average fuel economy in liters per 100 kilometers. You also have your average trip A and trip B computers that you could program. It even tells you how much gas you have in reserve of your tank. So right now, we can only drive about 100 kilometers with the amount of gas we have. It also shows the amount of time you've driven in the vehicle and how many kilometers you've driven in that time period. It also gives you a digital speedometer, compass, and if you hold down the I button on your steering column, you can actually go through screen settings, eyesight settings, your side, rear, and vehicle detection blind spot system, personal vehicle settings, such as your keyless entry system, defogger timing, interior lighting, auto light sensors, your welcome lighting. You can always switch back to manufacturing default settings. You can also change your units of measurement, language, and change the exit. You can even disable or enable the gauge initial movement. Now for the center driver's display, it's a TFT screen, touchscreen colored, that has capacitive buttons and actually has like a laminate glass covering the actual system itself. So it doesn't pick up too much dirt, and it doesn't leave fingerprints on the actual touchscreen itself. So it's actually a really nice, clean design. And again, it's got the capacitive button, so if I just touch where it says map, the navigation system pops up. So, as mentioned, you already saw we have the navigation system. You could set up the navigation system. You could change its destination, change routes. You could program it, change the guidance volume. You can even go through help if you don't understand something with the actual system itself, and you could set it up. Audio is your AM, FM, Sirius XM, AHA, disc, Bluetooth audio, USB, micro SD. And you can actually reorder those menu options. So when you actually click on source on your driver's steering wheel, it'll actually go through the menu list that you want. So actually, let's go back into audio for a second. So the system actually is very clear. It's powered by Harman Kardon. It's got a 12-speaker system in this car, and it's powered with a 576 watt amplifier. So it's actually a very good system, and you can actually configure the sound as well. It's got a treble, mid, and a bass tuning option, along with your front, rear, left, and right fades. And again, you can change the source through the touchscreen or through the steering column. Phone connectivity uses your your Bluetooth. So you just activate your Bluetooth on your phone, and through your car, you could pair the device. Now, Subaru's Starlink system actually has apps built into it. So if you go onto their website, you can actually download apps from Starlink and a company called Mirrorlink. And you can also get some apps from AHA. So depending on where you are in North America, you have access to apps. You can also retrieve information from the vehicle, so you can go under the vehicle monitoring system. And this is just a basic guideline of what's going on with the actual vehicle itself. So it'll tell you what driving mode it's in, how much power it's using in the all-wheel drive system, your engine oil temperature, and the amount of pressure or the percentage of the accelerators being pressed at that current time. It also gives you average speed. So currently it's set at 30 kilometers an hour. We're under trip A, and the elapsed time that's been driven in this time duration. You can even go through your eco monitor, and this pretty much tells you your real lifetime average fuel consumption. So right now this car's got 22 kilometers on it, and it's averaged so far 12.2 liters per 100 kilometers. Now that's probably just because it's done a lot of idle time. I'm sure if you put it on the highway or start doing combined city driving, so those numbers will come down. Your range on this tank of fuel right now, we're just actually, I would say we're just at quarter tank right now, and it's reading at 100 kilometers. I'm sure, again, once you start driving, the range will actually go up based on your real life liters per 100 kilometers value. And then you also have an instant liters per 100 kilometers, so it's a little bit more real time. It tells you that the actual liters per 100 kilometers in a little bit more orderly fashion in terms of time. And under maintenance, this is interesting, this part here. Your maintenance, you have several characteristics that you can program into the vehicle. So right now in this menu you have your engine oil, oil filter, tire rotation, replacement of tires, battery, brake pads, wipers, coolant, brake oil, transmission fluid, just general maintenance service requirements, your air filter change, and then you have 3 personal maintenance schedules that you can input yourself. So to give you an idea, let's just say you wanted to detail your car every 6 months. You can actually plug this in as car detailing, and once you hit OK, it'll ask you either for the date or the amount of kilometers you want this service requirement come up. So you can actually customize your own scheduled service requirements. You can also go under your engine oil, and if you do service your vehicle regularly, you'll notice that most dealerships or most oil lube places, they put a sticker on your windshield. Well, you don't have to have the sticker on your car. You can actually plug in the information here. You can put down the distance for it to trigger, or the date, and then the car will remember that and give you a warning before the actual service date is due. So this is a very good menu. If you're very particular with your vehicle, you'll appreciate this actual menu screen here. Now you also have USB photo. You also have USB photo access. So once you plug in, a flash drive or anything that contains JPEGs or anything like that, the car does have a bunch of codecs and packages that'll read different video and picture formats. This head unit also has DivX equipped to it, so as long as the car is in park, you can actually watch films off of the actual screen itself. You also have your micro SD photo, and the micro SD holder is right here. So you just open up this little tab. It's a little hard because it's brand new, and you'll notice there's a micro SD card in there. Now, that micro SD card also holds all the information to your navigation system, so you want to be aware that if you do pop that out, you'll probably disable this whole entire unit. Now, you have these quick buttons here, so your home, your apps, your maps, your apps if you download them, and then your info settings, so your vehicle monitor, your eco monitor, and your maintenance schedules. So you have 4 basic buttons that'll get you through all the menus that you want. Now let's go through the settings of the vehicle. So under the settings, there's 2 pages. You can actually turn off the screen. So if you want to just turn off the screen, you're at the the drive-in with the family or something, you don't want to have that heads-up display on, you can turn it off. And to turn it on, you just simply press the on button. General, you can change the clock, the language, the beeping noise every time I press an indication on the touchscreen, the color theme, the keyboard layout. You can change to split screen, which I'll go through in a minute. You can enable or disable animations. You can customize your screen off image. You can delete your personal data. You can go through your AHA settings through USB, or you can program it to another device. You can go through Grace Note databases update. So Grace Note, I'm pretty sure, is affiliated with some of the software information in the vehicle itself. So you can do the database update along with your software information. You can also enable or disable a delay in the backup camera. You can have a welcome display or disable the welcome display, and low fuel and gas station search automatically can be done. If you don't like that feature, you can disable it. You also have a periodic rest notification that can be enabled or disabled, and that's just information that's been collected by the eyesight system. Kind of detects if you're swaying out of control in your lanes, and if it happens too many times, the car will say maybe you should take a rest, sort of thing. So it just focuses on your driving inputs, and if you're following the speed limit, and kind of just looks at all the inputs in the vehicle itself, and tries to come up with a way of warning you to take a rest. So it's actually kind of neat how they designed it and incorporate it into the actual vehicle itself. Now back to the split screen. As I mentioned earlier, you can enable or disable split screen, and what that means is you can have your audio presets, so your FM controls on the left hand side and your navigation being shown at the same time on the right hand side. Voice recognition, you can increase or decrease the actual voice volume itself, and the voice recognition prompts, you can have either a small amount of words or a large amount of words. They say low and high, or you can have it off completely. You don't have to use voice recognition at all. And pretty much using low amount of words means, you just say, call mom, and it'll know to call mom. Or you would have to say their full name instead of just saying mom. And it's a little bit more in depth. Really, most people keep it on high, and the only reason why is because if they go through the navigation system, sometimes they don't know what they're looking for, so they give out these long sentences, so the car has to kind of decipher what you're trying to say. Leaving it in the low setting kind of limits the availability or the source of the navigation system. So you'll see most vehicles are set into the most characters available. Now your display, you can actually adjust the contrast, the brightness of the general display, which is here, or the backup camera, which I've never seen this before. This is kind of cool. So you can actually change the brightness, contrast, tone, and the color. And you'll see down here video. So when you are playing a video through this screen, you can actually adjust the contrast colors as well through the video screen, just to make sure all your colors are matching. Now for Bluetooth, like I said, you can pair up a phone, and under the system settings, you'll actually notice you can power up the Bluetooth or disable it in the vehicle. You can actually configure the actual car name if you prefer to have it a different name. You can change the Bluetooth PIN code, and it just displays other information here. You can display the phone status, and these are the supported profiles that the Bluetooth system comes with. Now under phone, once you do connect the phone, you can change the sound settings, contact call history settings, and the phone display settings. Audio I've already went through with you, but to give you a little bit more in-depth information on the audio settings, you actually have 36 radio presets that you can actually program into the vehicle. You can also have an autoplay feature enabled or disabled when you plug in an iPod, a USB flash card, or an SD card, and it'll autoplay the information that's on the card automatically for you. iPod sound input, so if you do plug in with USB or the auxiliary port, you can program it. Once you plug it in, it'll start playing the music off of that source right away for you, so you don't have to go through the menu settings. You can also display the cover art, so if you do have cover art downloaded onto any of your flash drives, your iPods, your iPhones, cover art can be displayed onto the screen. And that's pretty much it for the audio system. Now you also have vehicle customization. Now you have audible signals, hazard warning flasher, your welcome light, the duration of the lighting time on the leave and the approach, your defogger system, as I mentioned earlier with your HVAC controls, you can set the timer for the defogger. You have your interior lighting, your auto light sensors, they can either be set to high, low, or medium. And you also have your keyless access settings, so you can program the driver's door unlock. You can unlock just the driver's door only, or unlock all doors. Same with the rear gate, or the trunk I should say. You can unlock all doors, or you can just unlock the rear gate only. So it's up to you and what you want to do. And you have one more information system here for your Eco Monitor. So now, I mentioned the Eco Monitor. You can actually customize the Eco Monitor itself. So you can actually pick the gauges that you want. You can have the lifetime fuel economy, your range, your instant fuel economy, or your average, and you can sort of figure out which column of area you want the information displayed. So you can also customize the Eco Monitoring system. Fuel history settings, you can change it. So there's a duration. Usually there's a graph that's standard on Subarus. It goes from 0 to 30 minutes. You can actually increase that to 60 minutes or 120 minutes to give you a little bit more detailed information. Obviously, the more time you drive, the more accurate your fuel economy will be. And you can always reset your lifetime fuel consumption as well. So that's pretty much the menu options on the actual touchscreen system. You do have your eject for your CD player here. I mentioned the SD card reader, the audio system. And if you ever want to access your source, you can change your source and the presets. You can even scan through the stations manually. You can press the scan button and it can scan local stations for you automatically. So now below your navigation system is your dual zone climate control system. So to turn it on, just simply press the auto button. And right now it's set to dual with AC on recirculation mode. To control the fan speed, there's two buttons here. You can lower and increase the fan speed by these two buttons here. You have front and rear defogging. And again, if I press this, it's programmed for 15 minutes. Your AC controls, your dual climate control settings. You can deactivate it at any time and set the temperature just for the driver. And pretty much the dual zone climate control system will kick in once the driver or the passenger puts his inputs in. You can always turn off the HVAC system by pressing the off button. And you can even go through the different modes, which tells you on this screen. Below the HVAC is a compartment here with USB ports. It's kind of hard to see in here, but there's two USB ports with an auxiliary port and a 12-volt connector. You have a wrapped leather shifter knob for the CVT transmission, along with the paddle shifters as we've shown on the steering wheel. And it's important to note that the paddle shifters and the actual manual transmission part of the CVT is an electronic feel of shift. So really it's still a CVT transmission, but they've kind of artificially made it feel like you can shift gears in the vehicle itself. You have an electronic parking brake that you can deactivate, and you can enable or disable hill assist control on the vehicle. You also have a leather wrapped armrest, and inside is a fairly large cabinet area with a removable coin tray. And deep inside there's also another 12-volt. This concludes our video review. We'd like to thank Bud Subaru on providing the vehicle to us, and for more information you can always take a look at their website, or for more detailed specifications on the vehicle you can visit our website at www.tccrs.ca. Please subscribe to our channel, and thanks for watching.